Right, so this is the second part to the, let's have a look, the Love Island. Does the show have a race, age and body diversity problem? Complete bollocks. This is a show about young people. There should be a show about young people, from 18 to 30, or say 35, and I'll carry on from this. Someone by the name of Paula says this girl's experience, Samara's experience, is a reflection of what dating is like for some black women and is a difficult watch. Yeah, the reason is because black women, I'm afraid, have got a bad attitude. Also, because black women overstate themselves. You know, I'm the intelligent, strong, black, beautiful woman. But then you've got to, in order to make yourself better looking than what you are, you have to resort to using weaves and wigs and tons of makeup on to try and emphasize that point. And whereas if you came onto that show in your natural state, then there wouldn't be a problem. You know, black men, they are, you know, like me, not all black men, but, you know, ugly as we are, some of us, they're still able to get, you know, some really good looking girls because it's their personality, it's their attitude, it's their coolness, and so their beauty comes out at some point or other, and they use what they naturally have, their hair that I would shave it off, or style their picture in natural hair, and make it in different works, different styles with their natural hair. You don't see very many black men wearing blue, purple, green, yellow hair. You might see the odd white, you know, it's white, but his own natural hair. So, I mean, if a black woman purpled their hair or blue, their own pure natural hair, but it was styled and looked cool, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'm happy with that. It's when you get a woman who has to use weave. She's so desperate to have hair like white women, like Chinese women, like Indian women. It is not, you know, that is not part of you. Your natural kinky hair is what it is, and you should use what God gave you. Use your brain, and like what black men are doing with their hair. You know, you don't need no hair down to our shoulder or to the nape of our back. Our hair is what it is, and we've altered it and made it and tuned it. So now that it's cool, when you see black guys walking around with their hair spiked up and like what is classed as nappy hair, they've taken it back and owned it and made it look cool. They don't shape it anymore in the same way as like they did in the Soul to Soul era days when they squared off the hair and made flat top and side by side and made it. It's now, you see my hair how it's going to be, this is it. And they're walking with a suit, a tie and jacket, and they're just bossing it. Black women need to do the same thing. That's why I like, I haven't seen the Black Panther, but the thing that I've noticed there is that the black women there, the soldiers, they've done one thing: shave your head. Boom. There's no weave there. There's no stuck-on weave. And then the girlfriend, I think, is it the girlfriend to the guy? Her hair is in the natural state. She looks crisp. You think, wow, that's fantastic. It's like Maisie Gray when she first came on the scene and she had her natural hairstyle. I stood back and went, whoa, that looks cool. Why is it that black women feel the need to... This is the reason why sometimes you don't get this attitude. It's about how you present yourself. This girl here, this particular girl here, had the audacity to be pissed at the fact that she wasn't chosen amongst, I think, 6 guys to be a couple. And it's, it's like, what makes you think that you were entitled to that? And that's why she's butt hurt that she wasn't picked. And because, and that's the reason why she's left the show, because there was an interest by one of the white geezers there, and boy, she ain't gonna let this go. And so she's jumped out of the show to go and get this guy. This is the state in which black people's relationships are. The black man is the most hated being on the planet, but still he pushes through. He finds a way. The black woman is butthurt that nobody picked her, and that's why she's angry, and she's going after the white geezer that showed her some interest. She ain't gonna let that go, by God, no. And she's jumped out of the show because of that. Extraordinary. So this Paula Akpan, I'll read through that again, of the Black Girl Festival. So there'll be no black men there. No white men, I suppose, and no white girls. Just black girls amongst themselves. Good. As social media editor at Girldom, that's how it's supposed to be pronounced, says racial diversity is severely lacking. And she states there's no South Asian girl on the show. If she'd have been there, she probably would have bossed it. And we'd then get some complaints that, it'd be like the school system in America where Asian kids have to get a much higher score to get into university than even the whites, I think. Or the same as the whites. Black students don't have to get anywhere near that. And if they get a certain grade, they get into university, even though it's way lower down. And so the, Asian, Chinese Americans are not, and Asian, Indian Asians, I suppose, are not particularly liked because of that. Even though they have to work harder to get into university. I think that if they're seeking, they're not. He said, I think if they're seeking to represent the nation, they're not seeking to represent anything. They weren't seeking to represent the nation. It's not their job to seek to represent the nation. So you're just talking fucking shit, as black women tend to do, or seeking to showcase the different people who are genuinely falling in love. No, they weren't seeking to do that. They weren't seeking to do that. The population, the ethnic population in the United Kingdom, I've just found out, is 14% spread across the whole United Kingdom. Holy sweet Christmas. So, it's just nonsense. The majority of people in this country is still white, and they date white people date amongst themselves. Not a problem in that. You go to Nigeria, 99, if not 95% of the population of Nigeria is black, and they date amongst themselves. No problem in that. I don't see what the problem is in that. You're free to date who you want. Then Love Island needs to be casting the net wider. No, it doesn't need to. Stop your fucking shit. It doesn't need to be casting any net wider just to satisfy a lesbian feminized nag such as yourself. No. And it needs to be something that they think about more moving forward. No, they don't. Stuff it up your backside. You don't have to do nothing. They brought out a show that everybody in the country is watching, and generally the normal people, sane people are enjoying, but you get fuckweeds that come on and talk nonsense and want to spoil the show, and bring on things that will probably could pull the show down and destroy the show. There you go. 14% of the population of England and Wales have an ethnic minority background. The debate around race and diversity in Love Island has very much focused on that particular contestant who walked out of the show on Thursday. She struggled. Here we go. She struggled to find love. Let me just put my glasses because my eyes are nearly gone. She struggled to find love in the villa, and when 6 men showed up, not one, repeat, not one chose her in the top 3 women they were attracted to. So this is what really this is about. A black woman is butthurt that nobody there fancied her. What a disgrace. These men are racist. They're pure racist because they didn't choose her. That's what this is about. She's butthurt that she didn't get picked. And these men have got to be racist. In contrast, some of the female contestants have described their type as mixed race men. So as you can see, a very attractive black man. You see what I'm talking about? Let's call it for you people who look at it as nappy head. Looks cool, looks edgy, handsome young man who these girls really like, and look for, and say this is the kind of type of man that they like. This is what pisses off black women. Really, at the end of the day, Paula says, "Sir, I can't pronounce her name. Experience is a reflection of what dating is like for some black women, and it's a difficult wash." Ha! Watch. It's very real for every black woman watching it because it's something that you become quite used to, especially when you're in a white-dominated space. Well, for fuck's sake, you live in a white country. This is a country dominated by white people. If you don't like it, pack your bags and go back to wherever your name pronunciation sounds from. I'm not sure if it's Nigerian or Ghanaian. And then you can enjoy pure black people. What's the problem? Britain is a white-dominated country. I mean, why does it have to cater to the whims of every whims of black people or people of diversity? Why? Holy sweet Christmas! You often know that you won't be. You often know that you won't be seen as a person who's attractive. Well, if you're not attractive, I'm sorry, you ain't going to be seen as attractive, especially when you're compared to other beautiful women on the show who embody the ethnocentric ideals. Well, I'm sorry, if a person is ugly, and yet you want people to see that person as beautiful on the surface, even though they're ugly, but they've got, they must, you mustn't discriminate, or you mustn't say that person's, you mustn't say it to their face, but if people are not attracted to certainly ugly people and they seek out people who look similar to themselves, attractive people, ugly people might seek out ugly people, average looking people will seek out average looking people, or may try and seek beautiful people. It is up to people to choose. And to try and force people to, I mean, there are attractive people who've gone out with people less attractive, less attractive than them because of the personality of the person. If your personality is such, and you're not a particularly attractive person, you might be able to quite easily find someone who's more attractive than you without any problem. It happens to men all the time. Men, not particularly very attractive men, find beautiful women all the time, as long as they've got a big wad in their back pocket. God almighty. Last Tuesday, New Singleton Idris entered the villa, but some viewers thought it was a cynical attempt by producers to address an issue that's been around for weeks. Oh, Idris. Oh, the black geese. Oh, black geezer. Right, okay. I'm going to have to do a third. This is a part 2. I can only do 15-minute segments on this, unfortunately. So I will be looking at upgrading. But for the meantime, I'm going to do the third part on this so that we can cover this, further, which I think is quite interesting. So hopefully you're enjoying my narration of the Love Island saga, malarkeyism. Cheers. See you in a minute.